cats and kittens. Welcome to the Rake podcast. We are doing a solo episode this week. We haven't done a solo episode catch up in quite some time, so we thought we'd give you a better look at our lives because you're dying to know what we're up to. So, welcome.
Yeah, this is our life. We're just staring at a screen, and usually there's a bunch of tables up, but that's it. And I realized we've been in quarantine for 50 days.
Really? Wow. Time stands still, really. I got in a car today. It was really weird. Really weird.
Where'd you go?
I went to the grocery store. And then we took a little joyride after.
Nice.
Just a little joyride.
There's a pretty good tweet someone made a couple weeks ago where it's saying that they totally understand their dog now, like how dogs get super excited about going. That's our life now.
Yeah. We don't have much to look forward to. My cat has a better life than me, really, because he goes out and hunts and, does his thing. Mm-hmm. But we have been trying to make the most of our quarantine experience and playing a lot of poker. So tell us what you've been up to and how you've been mashing.
Yeah. Well, apparently what it takes for me to study poker and play poker every day is to have absolutely nothing else to do. Taken away every fun thing in life, and now I'm studying every day, and I've been winning a lot, and it's great. But it's also, I don't know, it's just very funny. Like, my brain is just broken because I should have been doing this for a long time. It shouldn't be that you have to have every other fun thing removed from your life for you to be able to study. But whatever works, right?
Yeah, forced focus. I have felt it a little bit myself, although I have definitely been binge watching shows that I've seen through like 8 times already. So it's a balance. I still find ways to distract myself, but I have been streaming and playing poker. I'm new to Twitch, but it's been going great. I'm enjoying it. And then I also recently played in the Run at Once charity event. Happened a little while ago, but I'm still talking about it. I'm still buzzing because I actually beat Daniel Dvoress heads up. No big deal. It actually isn't a big deal because it was literally like 30 minutes of play. But still, I think it's a very big deal, and I think that I should definitely be coaching now, and I'm definitely going to be trying to get on Run at Once as a teacher. And
well, yeah, I don't want to blow up your spot, but actually, like, this pod has to be a little shorter because Marle actually has to run because she's coaching Dvoress after this is over. Are you charging like $1,000 an hour? What? How much?
No, I mean, I'm actually giving the discount rate of $5,000 an hour, but it's all good. My friend was texting me. He was like, "I need to learn MTO right away, like Marle's Theory Optimal." And I was like, honestly, Marle's Theory Optimal is just get aces and kings in 3-bet pots and just hold. So that was the big hand that he busted on, where I just opened aces and he defended big. Flop was like king 10 deuce or something, 2-tone. He check called, and the turn was like a 6 or something, brought 2 flush draws, and he checked, and I bombed it again, and he check jammed, and I actually tanked for like 20 seconds or something at aces, and I was just like, I don't know, and I guess maybe I nit rolled him, and I called me at 7-8 of hearts and bricked like the world, but I just I just feel like it's a spot. I was definitely like overthinking things when I was playing against him, and I was like, my like strategy going into it was like, okay, just like play super tight passive, like don't be crazy, like just fold if it's marginal, whatever. And that was like a spot where I was just like, okay, like in the big 22, I feel like no one's bluffing here, but like I guess it's Daniel Dvoress, so he could just have what he had. But yeah, it was a fun match. And I ended up going to the heads up with Bob Vance, which, who the fuck is Bob Vance, by the way? Do we even know who this person was?
People in chat, see, this is where I'm a bad Twitch streamer whenever I have to do it because I just believe them. Mm-hmm. Like when Twitch is like, oh, Bob Vance from Vance Refrigeration. I'm like, oh, okay, so he sells refrigerators. But I also think there's a chance that was like an Office reference.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
100% is. 100%.
So like, you don't actually know what Bob Vance does.
We don't
know.
He
just comes in and crushes all the Run It Once pros. That's what he does for a living.
Yeah. I assume he was a qualifier. He must have donated. Obviously, he donated. And yeah, I don't know what his story was, but he mashed. I don't know who he played. I don't know who he played in his battles, but it must have been some tough opponents because that field was pretty tough.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty tough.
Sad. I won the first match, and then my second match, I think I had a 3-1 lead when it went into the YOLO period. So for anyone who didn't watch it, you play for however many minutes, 30 minutes, and then when 30 minutes is up, you just have to randomly go all in until someone wins. So I got fucked in the YOLO period. I lost, I think, 2 or 3 in a row, and that was it. See ya.
Yeah, you really got robbed. Who was that against? Who was that against? A qualifier.
His name was Brad something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He went on to win, I think, his next match. So that's pretty good. I'm glad he had a good experience crushing my soul.
Yeah. I'm glad a qualifier won. I obviously wanted to win it, but I'm glad the qualifier won, and it was what was meant to be. But
that was fun. I hope they do another one. I mean, I hope this thing doesn't last forever to necessitate another COVID stream, but if it does, I would be down to do another one. I thought that was really fun. There's a lot of shit talking going on in the Discord, and I pretty much just enjoyed it. I like the format too. You can't really like get crushed. Like, it's very intimidating knowing what players you're going to have to play against if you win. But it wasn't as intimidating knowing that like you can't get that crushed, right? You only have 30 minutes. You're not super deep. So like even if you get heads up with someone awesome, they like can't really hurt you too bad.
Yeah, and like for me, it's like what am I going to have a chance really to play like these players again? I'm never going to be playing like super high rollers probably. So like it's a good chance to just be able to play these people for no risk, just ego and pride and embarrassment, which is important. But like, yeah, I think it was pretty cool to like get to play against some of these super. I wish I got to play like Sauce or Jungle Man or like, you know, Sam Greenwood or something. That would have been awesome. But yeah, it was a good experience. My first opponent was also like a secret crusher. I like Googled him before like when it came out, and he had beat whoever it was, like Isildur or something, heads up in this big thing and had like millions in fucking Hendon Mob, whatever. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy that I'm playing? It's like a qualifier. He's a qualifier. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, give me a fucking softball one time. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun, and I ran good, and like it was just a cool experience. But I've also been doing some streaming on my own channel, which has been fun. I started off the first week with my laptop in my lap on my bed, like 2 tabling cache, micro sticks cache, and like I didn't even have it where I could like click back and forth smoothly. I had the tables like layered, and so I had to like keep. It was so messy and awful and like the worst. And then slowly but surely, I've like built up little things, and now I have like a desk with like a monitor and like a light and a mic and all these things. I'm just like,
that's pretty sweet. I think when I had that podcast with Chad Holloway, we were doing the Poker News pod, the first few pods, I just didn't really know. I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'll just use my computer audio. It'll be good. And then like, what are you streaming from a potato? Like, well, I can't hear shit. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, just got this thing. And I think my internet's cutting out now, which is kind of ironic when I'm talking about how good my setup is.
Yeah. You're a little bit frozen. Yeah. But it's not bad. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to streaming, and sometimes I'll just have to like ignore the chat because they just like get too much for me. That's like the biggest thing to overcome is the chat. It's not the poker playing. It's not the like the actual what you're doing. It's the fucking chat that really just does your head in. But I'm enjoying it, and it's made me feel like at least I'm somewhat like I've obviously had a couple of days where I just like go on and just like brick everything or whatever. I just get like fucking destroyed, and I'm just like, okay, well at least I like built the channel and like I felt like a little bit productive because there's nothing worse than going online and just like getting destroyed and being like, well, that's 10 hours I'll never see again. Like
That is like the majority of sessions though. It's like that. I feel like it makes you bulletproof to live poker though. Like when you go online and you just brick the shit out of a Sunday and you're like, oh my God, that was like 30 tournaments or something. And I think about that in terms of live poker and I'm like, wow, that would have been like months of my life bricking live tournaments. And I feel like whatever, like it's nice to get it out of the way in $100 tournaments online.
It really makes you kind of honestly feel like live tournaments are kind of silly.
They're ridiculous. Yes.
You know what I mean? We're like shot to even WSOP, like I might play 30 events, the whole WSOP, maybe. And like if I went a whole WSOP without cashing an event, I would feel like suicide watch. You know what I mean? And so it's just like puts it in perspective, like how small the samples are. And even like cash, you know, playing live cash is so slow and like, oh, you see no hands. So it's just wild.
I think that's not a thing anymore. Like that's something I'm thinking about a lot with the virus and everything. It's like, will live poker ever be a thing again? Will it ever be the same thing again? Like where you're sitting 9-handed and just like touching each other's chips and cards. And there was a tweet somebody posted yesterday of a casino owner or like worker putting up a plexiglass. Did you see it?
Yes.
Really, like it looked like what you would see at a bank. And then it also divided the people who would be playing blackjack, not just from the dealer. And it's just like and cards that other people are touching. So I don't really know. Like I'm like that'll probably help for certain diseases, but I don't think it'll help for this disease. And then what is like? Are we gonna have like a plexiglass thing or on the whole center of the table where no one is like?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be weird.
It's gonna be weird, and I think I don't know. Like I think that casinos also, as we know them, are gonna change. Like they're gonna be cutting staff, they're gonna be cutting funding, and they might be hurting because they're not having those conventions. And I mean, I don't know. I actually just read this article in New York Times that Vegas is one of the hardest hit cities in the country, of course, for like because obviously it's customer service jobs that no one can do from home. So it's really one of the hardest hit as far as unemployment and stuff. And because I mean, maybe we'll see poker rooms closing. Maybe I don't even know. Like because if they have to cut funding, that's the first to go, really.
And it's not just that. It's not just that there's so much like customer service stuff. It's that the whole entire industry is tourism. So if people are afraid, like even if people want to go gamble in a casino or like eat at the restaurants or go to the clubs, like those people might not even want to get on a plane. So the people are willing to like being in a public place like a casino that's like dangerous, they might also be afraid of flying. So I don't know. I feel really bad for everybody that's like losing their jobs and stuff. But I'm so scared of the mayor of Las Vegas who went on to read about how we volunteer to be the control group and like test on us and like we'll see if people don't die, then you'll know that you can open up these places. And I'm like, excuse me. I was like, I did not sign up for this study. I'm not going to be the control group. And it like makes me nervous for people because I know a lot of people want to go back to their normal lives and jobs, but like having some crazy lady who got elected mayor by 20,000 people, like tell everyone that it's okay to go out. Like, I really hope people think for themselves and don't listen to these crazy people who aren't doctors.
Yeah. I mean, what's upsetting is that even if she well, she doesn't really have the power to, I don't think, to open to really do what she's saying she wants to do. But even if she did, I don't think that those jobs are going to be there anymore anyways. Like the casinos just aren't going to be hiring back everybody, and they're going to have to really change the way they operate going forward. And it's kind of scary because it's made me really actually like nostalgic and like, I don't know. I just really have like appreciating those moments of like playing live poker again. Like there's just nothing like it. And I really miss it. And I'm like sad that, I don't know. I like at the time when I used to like have bad sessions or I just like, you know, feel like the world was ending, it felt like the worst. But now I'm just like, fuck, I'd give anything to lose 500 big blinds. And just like,
I feel you. I think like, I miss the bullshitting that you do with other people. Like, I love online poker, and there were like more days than not that I would just choose to stay home and play online anyway. But that was always with like 1 or 2 days of live mixed in. So the days I was special, I would just like go to the win or something, grind cash, listen to people make the same poker jokes for the 1,000th time. Yeah. And it would get a little annoying sometimes. But right now I'm like, I would love to just sit with some like old guy who wants to make the same joke. Who's like in a tournament, you know, he'll be like, "Oh, you wanted to chop?" I would like to talk to that old guy today. It's like pretty sad to just, it's isolating to play online. Like if you're really grinding for hours, I mean, that's maybe one good thing about streaming is that you are still connecting with people, and those people are bored.
Yeah, it's been like a good experience to start to build a community, and like I have my like regulars now that like just watch me, and it's definitely, it's somewhat nice, but there's just something different about being in like a live poker game, and just in Vegas especially, it's like such a unique feel. So it's sad, and then also WSOP being canceled is so sad. Like you know.
We've talked about this before, but before coronavirus was even a thing that anybody thought about, this is maybe like when we first started our pod. Remember us talking about how like WSOP for a poker player is like the start and end of the year. Yeah. Like beginning of WSOP, everyone like prepares for it. I just like always had a workout plan going up to it. I would have some kind of study plan that I'd usually like do a great job leading up to it. And then during that summer, like every day I had something to focus on, and like physically, you know, every summer I would kind of like take a few days off from poker, like collect my thoughts, figure out what's left in my bankroll, and like decide what to do with the rest of my year and like plan for the future. And it is like really weird to have that taken away. I'm going to just be sitting in Vegas in 110-degree heat with no poker tournaments. I miss all my friends. Like there's so many friends from the East Coast that I see them 2 months of the year all the time, and then they go back home. I really miss them, and I'm going to miss them a lot. It's like just a very eerie feeling, and I just like feel very bad for people who are coming from across the world, but like across the US, there's no online poker, and they kind of have to be sitting around hoping I'll come back. Like it really sucks for some people right now, and like the people who work in the poker industry, the dealers, people and everything. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird. Like I feel like WSOP, the cycle of WSOP is like a relationship, like a small relationship. Like I start off really excited and like, oh my God, this is gonna be great. And then as I fucking bust everything, it's like, oh man, this is looking so good. And then when I bust the main, that next 3 days is like I'm beside myself for 3 days, and I just like veg and do nothing, and I just feel like the world is ending, and then I eventually shake it off. So it's sad to not go through that again. That's what it's like for me, honestly.
It's the fun part of poker. Like we're playing right now very reasonable poker. Like I have a very reasonable average buy-in. I'm studying and I'm like doing well. Yeah. I don't want to be reasonable every day. No. I want to gamble my fucking face off in the summer. I want to just like go in and be like, maybe I win 500K in the next 2 days. I don't know. Let's see what happens. It's fun part of poker. Like everybody in poker likes the gamble, you know, like you have it in the back of my mind, like this makes live tournaments fun, is that they are like folks can be for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm gonna miss it. Every summer there's been like one of my friends that's been getting deep in something, and we go to the Thunderdome and rail, and just like reminds you about how much you love poker when you're first playing. Like that is what WSOP is. It feels like poker when I first started playing, and I was obsessed with it.
Totally. It's sad to see, and I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah.
It's that time again. Time for me to plug our sponsors. As fans of Run It Once Poker already know, Splash the Pot is one of the unique ways that we give back to our players by taking some of the rake and throwing it back on the tables into randomly selected pots. Well, this week we're happy to announce we'll be increasing the rake back offer through our Splash the Pot program for 8 hours of every day, with rake back percentages of up to double the normal level. For full details, check out once.run/sh and get to splashing. And as always, if you're looking to bring your poker game to the next level, head on over to Run It Once Training, where you can learn from a massive library of content made by folks like Phil Galfond and a slew of other world-class players. Sign up now through once.run/learn, and you'll receive free access to 3 of their elite-level videos. And now, let's get back to the pod.
I guess since we're talking about like the people who are getting hit the hardest by this, in our industry, at least in poker, there's a lot of people who were employed, and that's cool because their employers like either are still paying them. Certain casinos are doing that. Other people can get on unemployment, but the people that are kind of in the middle of that are the like gig workers, the ones who are like, hey, can you come to Triton and blog this event? Can you like come to Run Good and take some pictures for this event? Like a lot of the people who do this stuff are not like full-time employees. They're just getting like contracted for that exact job. So now that all these tournaments are obviously not happening, they're not making their like couple $1,000s here and there. And then some of the people aren't able to collect employment or unemployment and other things that the government's helping other people with. So I'm actually is it Wednesday of this week? So I think this probably won't be posted by then. But once a week, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch for this thing called Keep the Lights On. And all the money goes to those people. So like if someone in the media in poker hits us up and says, hey, I am struggling, like I need $500 for my utilities or rent or whatever, all they have to do is supply the bill to the person running the whole event, and we're going to take care of it. So we've already raised $16K, which is pretty cool. I think the goal was to raise $1,500 a person, and I'm up to $6K. So nice. People are definitely like doing a great job contributing and taking care of people that they're our friends. Like think about the people, like when you play a tournament, like I end up talking to the bloggers, the photographers, and like the guys that do the write-up at the end of the night. Like these are people that are like very much in our community that like nobody was thinking too much about. So Run Good, Poker, and Poker all came together to take care of them.
Nice. Yeah, so we'll definitely be posting about that. So keep a lookout on our social media, Twitter, and I'll talk about it. I'm going to be streaming too, so I'll mention it as well. But it's good to see everyone coming together to help out the community. We've really rallied once again, as we did after Postle. And once again, we show that poker community can come together to defeat the enemy.
Yeah. I just liken Postle to the coronavirus.
We've fought 2 villains.
No, it is really cool. I'm proud of people when they can part with some of their money, because I know some of the people donating don't have any. Like a lot of people giving $50 and stuff are probably also worried about their own next paycheck.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool of people to like do a little bit of sacrificing. My sacrifice is coming in that I hate streaming, and I'm going to be streaming. I'm not a Twitch streamer. I give you a lot of credit. I really just like chilling quietly. Like sometimes I even just turn off the TV and the music. I want nothing, and I just want to like look at the poker and like have and stuff. And I just really like to focus, and I feel like I do better when I'm focusing like that. So people who can stream and talk through what they're doing and also deal with the trolling and everything else, I mean, I give you a lot of credit. I'm not looking forward to this.
It goes both ways. I've actually there's been a couple days where I kind of wanted to grind, but I didn't want to be on. I just wanted to like watch some stupid TV and just kind of veg. And I've played just like a bunch of tournaments just like on my own, and I kind of feel like it's kind of a waste to do that or whatever. But I was just like, whatever, like I guess I'll just do this. But I mean, I feel like there's nothing worse than getting your head kicked in and having the chat berate you, and there's nothing better. Like when I went deep in the Sunday Millions, like the hype and the like excitement of like when you win a big pot, it just amplifies. And people are subbing, and people are like, yeah, and whatever. And that just like, it's really a good feeling. You know what I mean? But
I watched the end of that. That was awesome.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause it's just, I don't know. Cause I feel like people are like genuinely rooting for you too. I think that like when you are making a deep run, it's rewarding because there's like a lot of people genuinely rooting for you, so that if there is a troll here and there, whatever, I barely even see the messages go by as all the people are rooting for you to like get there on the river or whatever they're hoping for. I think it's like the times when you're just like starting your session and you're like, there's like 60 people in the chat, and then there's just one persistent person who's like, you suck, Marle, you look stupid, Marle. Like that's like what drove me nuts with Twitch, where I was just like, it reminded me that there's just like mean people who are bored and this is how they choose to spend their day. I'm like, this is crazy.
Well, imagine like, I mean, have you ever gone in someone's like chat that you don't know and just like said something anything other than just like, hey, good luck or whatever? Like, it takes a special kind of person to go in someone's chat and do that. Like, that's just kind of the way it goes, I guess. But it's fun. I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. And yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot of tournaments this next week. There's a lot of like big things coming up. So we'll see. But also another big question I get is like, why are you playing so small? I thought you played much bigger. Like, what, is she broke? Like, I don't understand. Why are you playing this? Why are you playing this? And I kept the videos like, dude, like, I'm not going to just start firing 1Ks online. Like, what do you think? I've never played online poker. And it's like that question's over and over. Why are you playing so small? Why are you playing so small? I'm like, dude, like, it's just, everyone's just fucking nonstop. But
it's a different world. Online poker is a different world.
It really is.
You can't just go be like, well, my average buy-in is like 2K live. I'm just going to play 2Ks on Scoop. You will get crushed. Like, you will absolutely get mangled if you're barely beating like live 1Ks, 2Ks, stuff like that, and you go in and just decide to play 2Ks online. People playing 2Ks online might have the average buy-in of like 25Ks live.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different world. And also just like, it's good to be able to just like check your ego at the door and play small and make sure you're winning. Like, that's the most important thing, is just make sure your graph's going up before you move up, and just like having too big of an ego, you will lose so much money online.
Definitely. And I like went into it like with a real respect for how tough the games are and can be. And I'm lucky to have Spraggy to, you know, we have a good relationship where like, obviously he's my number one fan and whatever, but he'll be the first one to tell me like, you're losing in that field, like, or whatever, you know, and we talk so much poker that he, you know, he knows exactly like where I'm at. So he'll be a good, you know, reflection of like, hey, that's like a huge punt for you, which, you know.
That's good. It's good to know that, especially going into whatever some of the bigger series that happen online. It's just good to like have someone who will adequately assess where you are. It's really nice to like in a relationship, someone who's like your biggest cheerleader, because then when they give you some like hard truth, you can listen to it, because you're like, well, I know this person wants me to win in this 2K. They would love it for me to win $400,000 online, but they're telling me that I'm losing $500 when I reg it. Like, that is a thing. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I think that if you know the person is coming from a good place with your best interests at heart, you can just accept that.
Yeah, I think that like, for some reason, maybe we're still in the honeymoon phase, but I usually can't, we talked about this before, but like, I usually can't take criticism from a significant other. It's pretty difficult, but with Spraggy, it's been pretty easy, surprisingly. He's very gentle about criticism, but like, I guess like, I just, you know, he's been streaming and playing online for so long that I just kind of like respect his opinion. So I'm just like, okay, well, like, whatever, and we'll figure it out. But
this whole time you just needed to hear criticism in a British accent.
Exactly. I know. Everything sounds so much smarter when he says it. That actually reminds me, I've been my friend Marnie has been streaming, and she is my British friend, and you have to check her out. She has her own channel, XOXO Marnie, on Twitch, where she does like face painting and ASMR, and like we're gonna do a pool day soon and stuff like that. But she played poker on my channel recently, and she did pretty well. She's new to poker, so be sure to look out for her on Marle's TV as well. So that's
I think that's when I tuned in and I was like, my friend Marley's losing her fucking mind.
Dude, I have this picture of me with the fucking face paint on. I took the wig off and it's just me like with my hair like rah! And I was like, and I really want to do like a before quarantine, like after, like when quarantine's really hit, because I just looked fucking insane. But it's fun. It's fun to just do crazy shit and see what sticks, I guess. But yeah, what else?
I'm sure I'll be losing it. I think even a day of streaming, I just remember how I used to feel when I was streaming, and I was like losing a grip on reality. You just talk to people who are just not in reality also on your stream all day. I only have to do 3 days of it, so like maybe I'll survive, but I'm already feeling a little bit crazy from just being indoors for 50 days, so good luck, me.
Yeah, just go into it being like, you know what? You can even turn just disregard the chat. And you should have someone watching your chat and then telling you when someone actually says something constructive that you can respond to.
Well,
and so you don't even listen to them.
If people are in a charity stream trolling, they're scum.
They are scum.
You know? So I think maybe the charity aspect will...
But hold a second. In the Gap, the Run It Once charity stream, people were definitely trolling me and in the chat being like, fuck this bitch and like whatever. So what's up, guys?
Everyone's nuts.
Yeah, I had some anti-sweats. That is for sure. But
yeah, I might just let Crouton take over the stream if they're being mean to me.
Oh,
you can't like pick on a dog. Like if I just put him in the picture and I just play poker peacefully next to him,
yeah,
might be the way to go.
The little baby. Yeah.
Give us a cat update. That's what I've really like. I pretended I wanted the Marle update, but really I just want to hear about like Chauncey and Olaf and Billy and all them. So
Olaf is actually warming up. He came over to me and sat next to me he walked over and sat next to me on the couch. Like he's never done it before.
This is a big deal. You're getting zero affection that you're just feeding and cleaning up after this cat. And the big news is that he sat next to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I just feel bad because he's he had a really hard life before this. He's 5. Mm-hmm. And you can just tell the difference in like demeanor between him and like Chauncey, who I had from a kitten. And like Chauncey's just so comfortable. Like he was with some friends of mine, and they learned that they were allergic, so they had to let him go. And he's with another group now. But literally day 1 of both houses, he was like licking their faces, drooling, just like all like on their laps, just like going crazy. Because he's just so kind of like, he's been so sheltered that he just like, is fine. But Olaf, he's a rescue cat. He's he's a little skittish, but we're hoping that he comes around and warms up. But it's a process, I guess.
It's like a roommate. I think that's cute. He's your roommate instead of your cat. He just is like, he keeps to himself. He's in his own area. Once in a while, he'll come sit next to you and watch TV.
Yeah. He's not a fan of Spraggy, and I think it's the height. Whenever Spraggy pets him, he like bats him away. Today he did the 2-arm like, rah! Like wow. Just like got him. But I don't know why. I told Spraggy, you need to come in with confidence and direction. When you like come in to pet him, you have to like do it in a certain way. You can't be like, because they sense fear. And if you are like, then he's going to be like, who the fuck? And he's going to bat you away. So I know, I'm a cat whisperer. I know all about petting cats. But yeah. Anyways.
I wish Chauncey could come over to my house, but I think it's really funny. Crouton would love to have Chauncey as a roommate, but I think Crouton would get his addict. And so everyone who lives in my house has claimed to be allergic to cats. I think they just don't like cats. I think they're full of shit.
People say they don't like cats, and then they meet a nice cat, and they're like, oh, I like cats.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you meet a nice cat, you're just like, oh, they're the best. But
yeah, I don't know how long it's been.
I don't know either.
We're just chatting. We'll put it on Twitch.
Just chatting, babe.
God. I watched a little bit, just so I had like an idea what we were talking about of the just chatting. Holy shit, what are these people doing? They're all just like, and they like outfit their bedrooms to look like a unicorn shit all over them.
Yeah.
Like, why is every room like pink little girl, like Hello Kitty? It is so creepy. Like, this is gonna add, like, someone on there is getting kidnapped and it's gonna be a Law and Order episode.
100%. It's so weird. It's like they're just like flirting with the line of being a cam girl, but then they like, and people who watch it, it's just so insane to me. And they just do nothing. I did one stream Marnie did a stream where she did face painting, and I just like kind of got bored. I was just like, what do I do?
All right, so with poker streaming, we're trying to make money in poker tournaments. And it's like, you're kind of teaching people how to play poker and getting them involved, and like sometimes they'll give you money for subs or whatever, donations.
Yeah.
What the fuck are the just chatting people doing?
They literally sit there for hours on end and get subs, but you can't really monetize it either. Like, you can't really get sponsors because what are you selling? You're just, I don't know, but yeah, but they make so much money though, like just from subs and donations and stuff, that I've thought about doing it seriously.
You should just do it. Can you do just chatting and play poker at the same time?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the difference? Like, why don't you just become a hybrid of a just chatting and a poker playing person?
Well, because just chatting is just, you can't be doing anything. Like, you have to, well, you're just sitting there basically chatting.
It's funny if you're like one tabling poker and painting your face. You're just like, dude, I don't, like, you're like, it keeps my schizophrenia in check. Like, I have to just keep both personalities happy.
Or I could do ASMR. Like, I'm not playing poker, but everything I do is like an ASMR. I'm raising the turn. We're gonna 3-barrel here. Yeah.
These people are super weird.
The sky is our oyster. And I will say this, like, everybody and their mother is like streaming now on poker. Like, there's a lot of new streamers coming out. So there's plenty of content out there.
People are bored. Like, there's definitely people who are like, oh, if I wasn't so busy with this stupid job, I would be the best streamer in the world. Like, there's probably people thinking that. And it's like, well, it's your chance to try it. That's cool. Yeah. I've always said if I wasn't so busy, I'd get good at poker. And it literally took being bored as fuck. But I'm just like, I am enjoying studying poker. It is like crazy that I had to be forced to do it when it's been my job for like 10 years. But here I am. I don't know. Like, I think that there are going to be people who like get good at painting and random things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you might end up loving streaming and being consistent at it. You would never have been consistent at it. You would have been flying home and like doing other things. So like, this is an opportunity to at least see if this is what you want to be doing.
Or I would have had to play on like ACR or something and
nightmare. Yeah.
No one would wish that on anybody. So, but that's the thing I'm like thinking about, is like, it's just a good excuse to kind of to get like some hours under my belt. But then when I go home, like, you know, I won't have that many options, but I can still play WSOP and stuff, you know, and see what happens. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We're gonna wrap up there. See you next week. Stay safe.